Hello and welcome to another exciting moment on the show. This is The Mirror with Beauty Benjamin. With me this day, today, is the big mama, the big T, Tonteye, the only producer of the Rhythm and Soul on RSTV Friday, 2 p.m. And today she's rocking out on The Mirror.
Beauty, you're making me blush. Oh my goodness, thank you. I'm happy to be here with you.
It's good to have you here.
Thank you.
You know, when I watch Rhythm and Soul every Friday,
yeah,
man, it's like I'm reborn. There's this energy, positive vibes.
You know that music is the food to your soul.
Seriously.
When you're downcasted, if you listen to music, it uplifts you,
Of course.
and it makes your day a better day for you. So I always listen to music, and I always encourage our viewer out there to listen to music because it's good for the soul.
I believe you.
Yes,
I believe you.
When you enjoy doing whatever it is you do, it brings out the best in you.
Yeah.
Like your program here, it's a talk show program, and you're reaching out to people that don't have that understanding. You understand? So when you do it well, it makes your day. So that goes the same way with me, So
thank you, thank you, and welcome to the show once again. Today we'll be looking at how much preparation, or do you have to prepare before taking your spouse on a date? A lot of things could happen.
I agree with you.
So do one really have to, whether the male or the female, because either way, anybody can take anybody out. But do you have to prepare before taking your spouse out?
Absolutely not. You don't. First and foremost, I believe that when you have good communication with your spouse, you can just send a text message. Listen, in the next 5-10 minutes, meet me at so place. Or you can just be at home now watching telly, and the kids are also here, and you can just eye your spouse and say, let's take a walk. And if you have anything up your sleeves while taking that walk, you can now spill it out. You can now talk with your spouse, and by the time you come back, you're very, very uplifted and relieved that you have brought out whatever it is on your chest. But a lot of us today tend to say, okay, Sunday after church, we're going to go out, and no,
like you book it, you prepare it, like you have already also prepared the money, the finance of that trip.
Yes, no. Going out doesn't have to be expensive. You can equally go to the restaurant, or an eatery, and just buy a bottle of Coke. But what's important is you and I, togetherness, communicating. For the fact that we're out together makes the world go round. Do you understand? So I don't believe that you need to be prepared. Okay, let's do this, because at the end of the day, you find out that there are a lot of factors that might even stop you from going out.
Of course.
So for me, like, I could text my husband and say, oh boy, where you dey? Mo, hang out here now, And he's like, wherever he is, he'll always find out that time. And he could send me a text message. How are the kids? I said, don't worry, I've settled. Being the wife and the mother, definitely you would have sorted everything at home.
Yes.
And you go do your thing. Because if you don't bond and you wait for, Sunday or Saturday, you've missed the point. You need to, add some spice, some salt and all that to keep the marriage going. You understand? So it's not all about getting prepared. For me, that's how I look at it.
Because I tend to say a lot of people make the marriage stereotype.
Yes.
They make it look as if marriage
that's
is not enjoyable.
Exactly.
Now, if you ask somebody, just walk on the street and say, look, can you take your wife? Take your wife out, okay? Money, for now, go here now. A plate of food is this one. They start calculating for you. But just like what you just said now. You could just share a bottle of Coke.
Of course. The most important thing is togetherness. And thank God for our able governor. We have so many leisure parks everywhere where you don't need to spend much.
Do you know that I just around me here now, we have, the governor has made it so possible and so easy now that we have cinema in the pleasure park now.
Wow, that's a good one.
So I don't have to drive too far
So let me ask you, Beauty, how do you arrange your own outing with your husband?
Wow.
Do you have to think about it? I'm throwing the question back to you now.
Now you caught me right there. Now before I got married, when we were dating,
yeah,
I was working. It would just be a text message that you just said,
okay,
meet me at this place somewhere at 7 o'clock, and just come in, and then we just flow. But now I think we do more of the arrangements, because you're thinking of a lot of things, work, church, family, relation. So we have to, like, let's budget, let's plan it. It's like stereotype, and it's not making you have the fun.
Yes, but you know, if you put your shoes into a robot where everything is done perfectly as a woman, because this is your comfort zone. I call my home my comfort zone, right? And sometimes you don't need to think about it, because of stress and all of that, you want to just let it out. The children will always, okay, what if you don't have children? What happens? You need to keep the fire flowing.
But what also hinders me most of the time is my husband. It's busy.
Okay.
As in busy. So for me to catch him for such outing, I must program and say, look, like recently we attended a party of a friend of ours.
Okay.
We had to start planning booking from the day. And I said, look, babe, put this day down. This day. He actually went for a function that day.
Okay.
And then when he came back, he was like, I said, no lie. You see this party? We will go.
Another thing, we're talking about family here, husband and wife. You really need to get married to your friend.
Yes.
Do you understand? I remember once, when I was growing up, I had this couple, a friend of mine, they're older than me, but I tell you, the flame is still up there. When he's coming to any occasion, if she's there already, no matter who he's talking with, his eyes are focused on his wife. And once he gets to her, the first thing he does is to give her a peck. Oh my God. Then you find out, I asked her 1 or 2 questions. I said, how do you do it? Because you find out that every weekend or every other weekend, if they're not going for a function, they're just having a walk. If they're not taking a walk, they're just hanging out. Before you know, they'll just bump into you and say, we say, we'll come visit on a how on a day. And you see them holding hands, So you find out that going out is not all about planning.
It helps the marriage.
Absolutely. There's a difference between when you're courting and when you're in the marriage proper. Because when you're married, it's like you need to prepare everything. When you're dating your husband, it's like, because you want to impress him, because he wants to impress you and all of that. Everything is just... But I tell you, you can still continue that way in the marriage. The only thing is that, when the children come in, your outing is a little bit limited. But you can still do whatever you were doing back in the day, with or without the children, without even planning it. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Like last week, I was at home. If I was like, okay, am I going to go to church or something? I was just trying to arrange myself. And my husband just came and said, oh yeah, babe, wear something. What happened? Just wear something. And I didn't grumble. I said, okay, children, I'm going out with your dad. See you guys later. And by the time I came back, I was just, just daydreaming and just doing my thing. I was like, okay. Do you understand? It refreshes you. Because your home remains to be your comfort zone. Whatever you put in your home is
what you get.
Is what you get. You understand? So it works both ways on the man and the woman. There's no statement as saying, I'm too busy. You can't be too busy for your wife. I mean, when you guys were not married, you weren't that busy, were you? You still had time to take her out. You still had time to do your chit-chatting and all of that. So being busy is unacceptable for me.
Do you know what other things that I think also affect couples? I think it's finance. Now, if you look at some people now, like I said earlier, if you go on the street now and ask somebody, hey, when was the last time you take your wife out, and you tell them money, because of the harsh economy, they're like, if I go out now and this plate of food, like some people actually say, they say it's 1,500, 2,500, 2,000, that's a pot of soup and all that. They channel they like see it like it's a waste of fun, of finance. Why will I spend 10,000, 20,000 for just one outing? But I tend to look at the Western world. They should even live longer, because they create time for relaxation, communication, bonding. They don't attach importance to finance the way we do.
It's not all about finance for me, because like we said earlier, you don't need to go to an eatery to take your wife out. You can just take a walk. On the way, you can see a shop, and just decide to buy a packet of biscuits. And you're nibbling it.
That's to you and me. You and I will understand it. But so the other very low man on the street, you will think that when you say take your wife out, that why would I take you out to you and share a bottle of Coke? That one I take out. I bet now Coke more buy for her.
No, but do you know that the aim of going out is togetherness?
Yes.
To communicate, to pour out whatever you have up your sleeves, right? It's not even all about I want to take you out. Just spend some time with me. Together. Just holding my hands is enough.
It's enough.
Just looking at you eyeball to eyeball is enough. Because when the children are around, you don't have that time, right?
Don't.
So when you're walking on the way, I'm holding on to you like this. It makes me feel secure. It makes me feel loved. It makes me feel that this is your way of saying, I love you. Because you find out that a lot of our men, our husbands, don't know how to say that word, I love you. But holding your hands like this will reassure me that, babe, you're still the number one babe in my life. You understand? Then you go out to an eatery, you go out to the restaurant. You don't need to buy the dinner proper. Just sitting there and say, oh boy, okay, just bring a bottle of this or a bottle of that, and we sit down together. Do you understand? Nothing is, the things of life are not too expensive when it comes to you and I. That's how I look at it, And when you have a husband that understands that, listen, it's not all about the money, it's just finding that time for me and let's do it, makes your world go round.
Now, coming to the African context, do you think, or how many percent of these men out there are willing to say, let's go out, let's just sit down and look at ourselves, hold our hands, and then just be gisting?
I'm sorry to say this, but a lot of our men in this part of the world still have a lot to learn when it comes to taking your spouse to heart. When we say our marriage vows, it's just what I do, it's like a national anthem. But do you understand what you're saying?
Really?
Deep meaning. You understand me? And because the Bible has told us that the man is the head of the family. And wherever he goes wrong, that family has failed.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Communication, togetherness, love, sex, you name it, all is inside this cup of tea that I'm drinking now. And when you sip the tea, you enjoy it. So it starts from the man. It's your responsibility to say, babe, where are you? Or just send a text message and say, let's do this, let's do that, to keep the flames going. Because at the end of the day, I believe that the children will leave the home. And it's still the two of you. So what happens then?
Okay, let me pause you on that. Let's go on a quick break, and when we return, we'll continue with this. Let's roll. Welcome back to the show. If you're just tuning in, this is The Mirror with Beauty Benjamin. And we've been looking at, should couple actually prepare before going out on a date? And talking with me today has been Tonteye the big mama team. So let's rock and roll. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
The setting we find ourselves here, and there is not the same thing. The mentality, everything. How do we sensitize? How do we make our men to do this, to know, is it the men or the women?
First and foremost, our men are not romantic.
Okay.
You know, it's really a shame that, you know, when you want to get into marriage, because they believe it's a serious affair, to when you're in a relationship, you know, because in a relationship you don't have anything to lose. It's either you're in or you're out. You understand? But in marriage, it's like, okay, everything has to be, you know, proper and all of that. But it's not. If you're married to your friend, then you can just, hey, boy, where you doing now? Or babe, let's do this. You need to, you know, keep the flame. I always say keep the flame going in so many ways. Sex is there, like I said earlier. Communication is there,
which is very important.
Togetherness is there, and so many other things. You understand? And where do you start? It starts from you. It starts from me too. How committed are you in that relationship you have with your husband or with your wife? For you to say, okay, let's just take a walk, and you feel good about yourself. I tell you one thing, by the time you take a walk or you just spend quality time together, by the time you come back home, the sex is different from other times.
It's a different energy.
I'm telling you, because you have put everything on the table. You've rekindled one or two things, and you find out that, you know, we women now, they say we'll be fish brain. You feel wanted, you feel happy, because that energy is now uplifted. You know?
When you're bottled up with a lot of things,
yes,
and all
because you find out that the woman has so many things to do. Issues. Taking care of the home, which is her #1 responsibility. If she's a worker or she's a businesswoman, she has to do all of that and still take care of the man. You understand? So the only time she can really let herself loose is when you say, babe, you need to put your feet up, let's do something together, and do it on a regular basis. So you find out that the relationship is so strong and nothing can really come in between the both of you.
I doubt. I don't know. Will you want to rate any percent of our men who actually in a year like take their spouse out for like 2-3 times?
Beauty, out of 100, I'll say 30.
Wow.
And it's appalling for me, because, you know, I mean, we work in the media, so we get talking with other women, and you find out that it's just a woman's thing. You know, a woman, your friend could say, hey, Beauty, where you there? Let's hang out. Forgetting that the husband is there to do all of that. So I think we need to put our priorities, especially for the man, because like I said earlier, he is the head of the family. And if he's gotten it all wrong, the family is also going down the drain.
So how do we get this thing right now? Because they say practice makes what perfect.
Communication is paramount. Communication. When you have a good communication with your spouse, every other thing fits in. You understand? I can just look at you and I know that you want me to, you know, go out with you or something. I can just, you know, body language, you will just feel what the other person is saying and you're at it.
But don't also rule away the fact that there are some women who want more. Now, if your spouse, not work. Now, if your spouse say, "Let, baby, let me take you out. I beg, I don't have clothes to wear. Where are we going to? You want to know where you're going to? I don't have what to wear. If you want us to go out, I need to make a new hair. I need to get a new dress."
Your spouse is supposed to know your body language. Do you understand me? That's why we women, men need to tell us more. Babe, I like you the way you are. Babe, you are beautiful. No. I bet don't wear bomb shorts or wear leggings or wear trousers. I'm okay with that. In the first place, who's looking at you? It's me now. You need to have that goal of making her feel the #1 queen. You understand? Make her feel secure. If she starts saying, hey, what will I wear? What will I do that? It's because you're not doing your own obligation as a husband by telling her that, listen, babe, you are fly, babe, you are this or that. So if you start telling her that, she'll get used to it and she'll be comfortable in her skin. You find that even if she's wearing bathroom flip-flops, she's comfortable with it because you are the one she's looking up to, you know, and she knows that at every given time you always tell her that, babe, you're 100% with bathroom flip-flops.
Okay, let's look at situations like this now where maybe the man is avoiding something, will not want to take his wife out because of some reasons. I don't want to, let me not go, and so every time the woman say, let's go out now, no, I don't want to, let's just stay in,
So why did you get married in the first place?
I don't know, because there are people like that.
Yes, every one of us has his or her own reason of getting married. They say it takes two to tango, right? But by the time I spend time with you, I should know your highs and your lows to be able to intertwine with you for us to have a balance, right? So if I see you like that, not wanting to exhibit me, not wanting to take me, I can make you. Okay. If I don't like okra soup and you like okra soup, there's a way I'll go about it. There's a way I'll talk about it and I'll make you like eating okra soup. It's like dog play. You fall for me, I fall for you. So if you know that you have somebody that does not want to expose you and feel that you're just a house material, you're just a wife, you as okay, let me give you my side.
Okay.
My husband is if my husband comes here now, he won't say a word till we leave. I'm a loud person, but we're like this because when we're together, we can communicate very well. Do you understand? I drink. My husband does not drink. He'll drink water if we go out. But you see that because we know how to balance it, he still enjoys the environment he finds himself, and he can still relate to beauty. He can still relate to Emmanuel. He can still relate to whoever, you understand, and still feel free. So you need to balance it. You need to know who you're married to be able to say, listen, let's go out. Listen, let's do this. Hey, let me hold you by the hand. Hey, I love you. It's just, you know, cooking a pot of soup.
But in situations where maybe the marriage came in through circumstance.
Okay, what kind of
inevitable, very meant to be, but they found themselves that way. And so there is not much of a love thing between them. Either the family came here and kissed you, push you, and together, and they've been together for years, and then they are just there. How do you help that situation now?
You know, I believe there's so many factors. It's like a tree; it has so many branches. If you're a very reserved person, you must still have somebody that you relate to with, right? That you want to share one or two problems that you have in your marriage, right? They always say married couples should sort out themselves together. For me, I don't think it works that way because I've learned one or two things from you. Just being here on the program, do you understand me? You might have learned one or two things from me. So you want to relate to me, babe, I don't know how I go do this thing or this. If I were in your shoes, if you take my own advice, let's do it like this. And you're bringing yourself, you can now implement it in that your relationship with your husband or with your wife. And it brings out that person, even when the two persons are coming from different ends. Besides, even when you're dating your husband, when you were dating your husband, you came from a different angle, he came from a different angle, for the both of you to become one and live together. So you find out that you still need to balance it for the rest of your life because you don't know your husband. They said that you didn't know I'm finished.
At all.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
At all.
So that's it. That's how I look at it.
So now, our men, like this, our cameraman now, what would you want to say to him?
Well, he's still young, you know. You need to differentiate relationship, dating, to marriage.
But that leads to marriage, because if you're dating, whatever you're cutting, the things you don't practice, I'm not sure you carry it over, because even the ones they do, coming to marriage, that's like we've said before, when you get into marriage, it's like you left them behind. You see marriage as a very serious matter.
Affair, yeah.
So you will not want to, let me not do like this, or let me just be focused.
When you're dating your wife, you used to take her out. What stops you when you get married? Your wife, if she sees that you're slacking, that's why communication is key. You understand? Communication is key. So when, as a young man, and you want to get into marriage, those things that you know you enjoy doing when you are dating your wife, you know that you're going to still enjoy them when you get married to her, because she's still the same person.
Of course.
She's still the same. He's still the same person, isn't
But some people change in attitude, in character, after marriage. A lot of people change, women more. I've seen situations where a woman was loving everything done to her during courtship, but the minute she married the guy, my God, it was like there was a transformation, and we're like, hello, who is this? Serious.
Yeah, maybe there's something, you know, there's no smoke without fire. But if you can sort out yourself, because like I always say, communication is paramount. It will you always be ahead of any obstacle in your marriage. You understand? At every given time, you will always jump that hurdle, no matter what. So for me, the woman also has a role to play, the man also has a role to play, because they say the two shall become one. So we're one. So if you know I like doing this thing, why not encourage me to do it more? If I know you like doing this thing, I need to encourage you to do it more. And love conquers everything.
Yeah.
Love conquers everything. That's how I see it.
Final say, what do you want to tell our men, our women, couple, everybody out there?
Well, what I would like to say is, you guys need to remember that your husband and wife, they say the two shall become one. You need to listen to your partner's body language. Going out with your spouse is not all about money, it's all about togetherness. Men, you should do more of it. You don't need to take your wife to the restaurant. You don't need to take your wife to an eatery joint. You can just take a walk. You can just hold her hand. Let her understand that, listen, you're the number one girl in my life. And I tell you, you know, we women, we're like, the little things you just do to us makes our world go round. So when you do that, I tell you, you're there and you have a good relationship.
Thank you so much for having you on the show.
Oh, it's good to be here.
I wish that sometime we'll corner you again for
I'm there.
This good
I'm there.
dishes we have.
I'm there.
Thank
and
you.
I like your program. Please continue.
Thank you. Viewers, you've heard it all. You don't need to break a bank to take your spouse out. Like she said, just a walk is enough. But the point is that you're bonding, you're communicating, you're building your relationship, you're putting some spice in your relationship. Thank you so much for having us this week on the show. If you miss anything, just log on to our social media, scrolling on your screen right now, and you get a full episode of today's discussion. And for your comments, observation, and participation on this show, call the number or send a text to the number on your screen. Same time, same station next week. I am Beauty Benjamin.